Did you get your first block done for Falling for Autumn? Then let's get going on the next one. Hi everyone, Cristin here, and we are continuing with our Falling for Autumn quilt. So yesterday we did our pumpkin, our velveteen pumpkin patch block. This was a big one, so I'm excited to see yours. A bunch of people are already posting that they've got theirs done, and everybody's doing so great. I also made a separate video just for those using a 5x7, a 6x10, 8x8, or 8x12 hooping, or hoop I should say. So with 3 different hoopings, I showed how to make that work using clear blue tiles or even without. So if you have a smaller hoop, you can still be a part of this project, and I've got a video specific to those. So just a quick note, if you are using one of those smaller hoops, you do have to follow the directions that are on a PDF on the CD for the actual embroidery part, but I showed you how to do the quilting part. All right, and then you just follow along with the guide, and the video still has all of the threads that are used and which parts go where and all of that information. All right, so today we are going to do the sweaters block. So grab your packet. This is another really big one. So this one is Cozy Sweaters. It's on page 14 of our booklet. Let me just turn to that real quick. So this is going to be another big one. So those of you with a smaller hoop, you'll follow that same guide that I gave yesterday for the pumpkin patch block. So on this one, let's go over what we need for today. I'm excited about this one. This is the block that sold me on this quilt for sure. It's so darn cute. Sorry, I hit the camera. All right, so we are going to start with our main fabric, which mine's got little velveteen pieces on it. Actually, it's sweater fabric. It's not velveteen. So this one is another big fabric. This one is a cream colored fabric with lines all over it. And this one we're going to start with at 14.5 by 8.5, same as yesterday. 14.5 by 8.5, and make sure that you're backing this with Fusible stabilizer. This is a really big block and it's a light colored one. You definitely want to ward off puckers for this. All right, so 14.5 by 8.5 for our main fabric. That's what we'll start with, and we always cut it down after we do the embroidery. All right, so that's our main fabric, and then we have 2 sweater fabrics. So I think, let's see, plum and fall lilac. All right, so I had to think about which one is which. So this one is our plum sweater knit, and then this one is the fall lilac sweater knit. All right, so there are 2 of these, and I have not backed mine yet, but we are supposed to. Yes, back them. All right, I had a lot of people asking me about that, and I was a little surprised actually that we are going to, but it does say in the book on page 14, it says iron fusible backing to the wrong side of the background and sweater fabrics. All right, so we are going to do that. So fusible backing, I think I'll probably put a pillowcase over it just to make sure that it's going to be okay, but we are going to put some fusible backing on these. All right, so on these there's 2 different sizes. So sweater 1, this is sweater 1, so let's start with that so we don't get too confused, and keep in mind there is a direction to this. There's lines on it, so I'll show in photos which way we're gonna put it down. And people were asking me too about cutting it. I didn't cut it. We only have one, and it's for one piece, so just leave it for now. It's an applique piece, so we're gonna go ahead and just put it right down, and then after we tack it down, we'll trim it from there. All right, so on this plum sweater knit fabric, this is number 1. Sweater 1. I'm still confused by that. This one is going to be 6.5 by 5. 6.5 by 5. All right, so it looks to me like that means the lines are going to go down because this is the longer way. So 6.5 by 5 on this plum sweater knit fabric, and knit meaning it is stretchy. Okay, so we are going to back it though with Fusible stabilizer. That will help with it, and we're also going to put wash away topping on the top just like we did yesterday on the velveteen. All right, so that's the first one. The second one is the fall lilac sweater knit, and this one is going to be 6 by 5.5. So a little bit different, kind of opposite actually. So 6 by 5.5 on this one. Mine looks like a perfect square actually, so I'm not sure which way the lines are going to go, but I will figure it out and I will share that information in this video. So fall lilac sweater, this one is 6 by 5.5. All right, and again, I didn't already cut it. It says 6 by 5.5 and it looks like mine's a perfect square, and so I didn't pre-cut it. We're only using it on one project, so I'm going to lay it down and use it as my applique piece, and then after we tack it down, that's when I will trim it. All right, and again, we are going to back this with Fusible Stabilizer. Mine is not yet, but we are supposed to do that. All right, and then the only other thing is our wash-away topping. The wash-away topping is going to be 13.5 by 7.5. We need a piece of wash-away topping. That's that Kimberbell one I showed in yesterday's video. That is 13.5 by 7.5 for our wash-away topping. All right, and then we are going to quilt this. So let's see here. There's some information on cutting with the grain line parallel to the short edges. It's an applique piece, so we're just going to cut it. If you're using your cut machine, I think you probably need to follow that pretty specifically. And like I said, it's on page 14. All right, so we are going to quilt this. So whenever we quilt, we use batting. Our batting, nice big piece of batting, it's going to be 13 by 7. Piece of batting that is 13 by 7. Now, if you are using different hoop sizes, so let's talk about the quilting. The quilting is going to be, here it is, weave 2. We're using weave 2. Gosh, it's going to be so cute. Oh my gosh, I'm really excited about these sweaters. They're so darn cute. So weave 2 in a 6 by 12 horizontal design. Weave 2, 6, that's going to be cute. It's going to look like an argyle. This is what I'm picturing. So weave 2, 6 by 12 horizontal design. Now, if you are using a smaller hoop, I'm going to use probably my 9 by 14 like I did yesterday. And the embroidery design itself will fit in a smaller hoop, but the quilting is always what is bigger. And I explained all of this in extensive detail in yesterday's video. So if you didn't already do the pumpkin block, make sure to follow that. But same as yesterday, if you're using a 5 by 7 hoop, you're going to have 3 hoopings of 4 by 6 quilting. Just like I showed yesterday, I showed a visual on using embroidery software so that you could get that visual, and then I also showed the technique of how to do it to be able to get that full page or the full design of quilting using 3 different hoopings. Okay. So 4 by 6 3 times. If you're using a 6 by 10 hooping, just like yesterday, you can do 2 hoopings of a 6 by 6 quilting design. And I showed that in the video as well, gave a visual using embroidery software so that you could see what that would look like. But keep in mind, if you're using a 6 by 10 hoop, you will have to take out steps 3 and 4, like I mentioned yesterday, to be able to get it to fit in a 6-inch hoop. All right. And same thing with the 8 by 12 hoop because of the length. So on the 6 by 10, it's because of the 6 for the 6, because the quilting design is actually 6.5 by 6.5, not 6. So you would have to take out steps 3 and 4. I went over that yesterday. But same thing with the 8 by 12 hoop. Since we're using a 6 by 12 quilting design, you can do 1 hooping of 6 by 12, but again, you'll have to take out steps 3 and 4 of the quilting to get it to fit in a 12-inch hoop. And you may even have to shrink it down just a bit also, and I showed that yesterday too. So lots of options, lots of hoop sizes will work with this just fine. So like I said, quilting design is going to be weave 2 in a 6 by 12 depending on your hoop size. There are some special cut instructions. We are going to cut on the outer edge like we did yesterday. And we're going to make sure that it's 1 1/4 inch from the bottom of the sweater, just like we did with the pumpkins yesterday. So, and there's also a placement stitch that we are not going to stitch, just like yesterday. So lots of information, and I'll go over more in photos when we get there. I think that's about all. Are you excited to do the sweaters like I am? One other thing I pointed out in yesterday's video, the thread kit. If you haven't already purchased the thread kit from our sponsor, Daylily Fabric Shop, they have the thread kits in stock, and boy, it makes it easy because these colors are a little bit different than what I'm used to using. I'm more of a summer gal, and these are fall colors, so I don't have a lot of these. A lot of them I did not already have. So I'm very thankful for the thread kit, but I also want to point out that on page 3, I think it is, let me make sure, yeah, page 3, there is a little guide at the bottom that shows the actual color of the threads, and there are a bunch of them. I don't remember how many in the thread kit, but there's 2 that are not included, and that's what I wanted to point out. I didn't realize that until I started working on this yesterday. So you will need, in addition to the thread kit that comes with a ton of different colors, but you will also need a dark gray and a cream color. All right, and I shared on the video yesterday which ones I'm using for those. I have cream from Glide, and then I also am using lead gray as my dark gray. So you will need those. They do not come in the thread kit, so I just wanted to point that out. And again, these are available from our sponsor, Daylily Fabric Shop. She's got a bunch of them in stock, and they're fun colors, especially for these sweaters that we get to do today. Hey everyone, real quick, I just wanted to point out that I just noticed that the sweaters design is an 8x12 design. If you have a 6x10 hoop or a 5x7 hoop, you will need to use the 5x7 design that is on the CD. All right, so 8x12 hoop or larger. Just a quick reminder that you definitely do want to back these sweater fabrics with the iron-on fusible, fusible backing. It will make it a lot easier to cut your fabrics and to hold in place and the whole bit. Definitely back them with fusible stabilizer. And I'm wearing a dress today, but I'm covering it with a jean jacket. A bunch of us bought jean jackets when they were on sale recently at Macy's, and I haven't finished. I'm going to put something on the lapel and something on the back collar, but I did finish the back late last night while I was editing my video. I had my machine running on this really cute mermaid design, so I'm going to share a photo. It's actually two different designs and I adjusted it a little bit. I was so thankful for Embrilliance Essentials last night. As I played around with the design, I added wording from one part of the design and had to use that stitch simulator to be able to cut off part of the design. So it was really fun. It was really interesting to do, and it's so darn cute on the back. I absolutely love this, and I'm going to add more designs, maybe even by the time this video is up and edited and posted, I'll already have a photo to share with you of what I'm going to put also. But really fun design. I love embroidering on a jean jacket, and a bunch of the people in the Cristin Creates group are now doing it and sharing their photos. So I'll share photos. The hardest part is always deciding what design, right? And this like periwinkle blue jacket I thought would be so fun for mermaids. So I'll show you the design. And as always, I always include a link at the very bottom of this video. There's direct links to the designs that I use. I found all 3 designs that I used, actually 4 designs, on Etsy last night. So I will share links in the video notes. So don't forget to tell me how you're doing with your goal. I saw in some of the comments that people are sharing their goal, and I love to hear about that. It keeps me inspired. So my goal is weight loss for this entire project. I am working on weight loss, and I'm actually only like 7.5 pounds from my goal, or 7 pounds from my goal. I don't remember exactly, but somehow this morning I gained half a pound. I'm not okay with that. I didn't eat anything bad, but you know what I didn't do is I didn't get a workout in. I worked way too long last night, sat in my chair way too long, so I need to make myself a priority and get that workout time in. So I'm going to make sure to do that tonight. That will definitely help. And more water. I'm sure you've heard that, right? Drink lots of water, help flush whatever toxins in your body, flush them out. So I'll be working on that today. But yeah, I'm coming clean. I gained half a pound somehow. Not happy about it. How are you doing with your goal? Keep me inspired.